Hidden among the trees sits one of those places. Deschutes Falls Park, a waterfall, a deep river gorge, towering evergreens, and a story that feels like it wandered out of another century and got lost in the woods that you see. Today it's a peaceful county park at the end of a road, but it wasn't always. Long before hiking trails and viewing platforms, the Deschutes River was traveled by native people who lived in the region for generations. The river was a source of life and food and travel. Long before maps and roads, this river already had a history. And then in the early 1900s, settlers arrived. A homestead was established here, and eventually people began to realize something. This place was beautiful. Not just the nice for a picnic beautiful, the kind of beautiful that takes your breath away. Soon the falls became a destination. Families traveled from around the area to visit. People came to picnic, swim, and camp, and escape the summer heat. There were rustic buildings and shelters and gathering places tucked into the forest. For a while, this hidden corner of Washington was alive in laughter and footsteps, and then it faded away. By the 1950s, the park had largely closed and buildings had aged, trails disappeared. Nature slowly began reclaiming everything. For decades, the waterfall remained, the river remained, but the people were gone. The forest did what forests do. It covered the evidence that we were ever there. Trees grew and brush thickened, and one of Thurston County's most beautiful places slipped quietly into obscurity, almost like a forgotten chapter in an old book. And then something remarkable happened. After sitting closed for decades, the property eventually was purchased by Thurston County, and restoration efforts began, and trails were cleared. Historic features were preserved, and in 2017, after roughly 25 years of being closed to the public, Deschutes Falls Park reopened. A lost park had been found again, and standing here today, it's easy to understand why people fell in love with it in the first place. The waterfall drops into a rugged gorge that's 90 feet down. Thousands of years of moving water, and the forest feels wild and ancient, like it still remembers every chapter of a story. Places like this remind me of something, that the world is still full of wonder. Not all adventures require a plane ticket, and not every treasure is hidden on the other side of the world. Sometimes it's waiting just down the road, tucked between a few trees, quietly waiting for someone curious enough to stop and look. And maybe that's the real adventure.